Hello friends, and welcome to yoga and some core and taking us all the way into wild thing. So there will be some spinal flexion and extensions and with blocks and back bendings and some strengthening for the front and definitely opening into the hips and the shoulders to take us into our back bend that I call flipping the dog or wild thing. So it has many different names. You might want to use a block today for our core exercises and for maybe just raising the floor up a bit. And when I say core exercises in yoga, I like to emphasize that we are definitely really opening up and really binding together and wakening up the Mula Bandha, the Uddiyana Bandha, the Jahalatara Bandha. So we have the root, we have the midsection, and then we also have the throat area that we are pumping and working with when we are doing our core to wake up and find stability and find the grounding chords and be able to root to rise as we go about our yoga practice this morning. Mid-morning or afternoon, whatever it is for you. I hope that you are doing great, and let's start on our backs and take a block between our knees. So if you don't have a block, no big deal. Maybe you have like a thicker book or something just to kind of buffer into the midline. So we'll squeeze the center, we squeeze the block and wake up the adductors and wake up like our foundation that keeps us standing in all of the yoga poses. And then we can pull the belly button all the way in and take the hands behind the chest and start to move the energies and pump the energies into the front side of the spine by exhaling up and inhaling on the way down. And exhaling up and inhaling on the way down. And exhaling and inhaling. And we'll just keep that going and see if we can really find the connection all the way down to the seat and all the way back up. And just keep on squeezing that block and waking up the center. And exhale up, inhale down. And it is certainly easier to contract the abdominals and like the whole front side as we go up. And we do our best to see if we can hold on to that to those muscles and to that engagement as we also lower down. And we'll keep this going for 4 more times right here. We'll inhale and we exhale and we inhale and we exhale, emptying out and filling ourselves back up. And we'll do 2 more right here. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll hold it up here and pulse and pulse and pulse and pulse and squeezing into the block and pulsing above the shoulder blades and waking up the locks, the bandhas in the body, the root, the center, and the breath. All those 3 centers. We'll do 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, and 1 more, and then we'll take it all the way back down and take the block away for a moment, and then we'll use it soon again. Hands by the side of the hips or hands underneath the sacrum, and just having the thumbs touching to get that nice little lift for the tailbone and help and enhancement and support to have the lower back into the mat. Lift the legs into tabletop, and then we tap the toes down, and the knees can meet up in between. So there is a little bit of a hold on the way up and a little bit of a hold on the way down. And inhale and exhale. Few more breaths right here. And we'll keep on tapping the toes for another 10 here. For any number that we end up with. It's yoga, so we can just do whatever number we like. There's not like a set number. We just really are here and doing these core exercises to wake up the whole center. So when we do stretch out, we have something to lengthen against and some kind of memorance of holding all the parts together as we organically stretch out from there. And then from here, we'll hold it up right here, flex the feet and take the heels down. And then we'll do those heels and tap it down. See if we can keep those knees above the hips and get that nice little extra awareness into the lower abdominals, heels tapping, alternating, inhaling and exhaling, keeping the front body knitted together so that the lower back is protected and building strength right there. From the whole seat all the way up to the sternum, we'll just hold on to that place. And we'll do another few right here, inhaling and exhaling, and inhaling and exhaling. Few more heel taps. Excellent. And then one more, and then we'll take the legs up to the sky and just do a couple of flexing and pointing, ankles, toes, inhaling and exhaling. Give yourself a few breaths right here. And we give ourselves a few more extension and flexions with the ankles, walking about into the feet, and then maybe widening the feet a little bit more and make some circles on the ankles one way, circle the other way around. And then from here, we'll take the block back and take the block between the knees, squeezing it, pointing the toes, hands either next to your hips or maybe hands underneath the head and lifting up. And then we tap those toes again, inhaling and exhaling, double tap both feet. Here we go. Exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale, keeping the lower back nice and organized, knitting the front side together. Inhale and exhale, exhale and inhale. We'll do another 4 right here. And after these 4 on the toes, we'll go on to with the heel tap. So it'll become a little bit further down, a little bit more holding against, a little bit more buffering. And from there, we will extend into our wild thing and a little bit while into the practice. Just finding that front side, and we'll do another 4 more right here, and another 3 more, and another 2 more, and last one. Take the block away and take the hands underneath the knees and rolling all the way up and coming to crossing the legs, happy pose. And take the arms all the way up to the sky, palms together, and exhale, take it all the way back down. It should feel good to sit nice and rooted and extend up from those core abdominal exercises. Bringing the palms together, exhale, take it back down, grow nice and tall, and we'll do it again. Inhale, one last time. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, take the hands back down. Leave your right hand down, take the left arm up. Side body, crescent stretch, bicep towards the ear. And gently taking it all the way up and over. Taking the right arm up towards the ear. Inhale and exhale. And we'll do it one more time just to kind of check and see. Maybe you'll take that right arm a little bit further out, up onto the fingertips, sinking down into the sit bones, waking up into the crescent body, taking it all the way up and over. Left fingers way out and taking the right arm up and over. Inhale and exhale. And then from there, we'll take it all the way back to the center and coming up onto all fours, please. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, tucking the toes under, arch the spine up to the sky, pressing the hands down and really expanding into the spine. And inhaling, long spine, holding on to the front even though we're coming into our cat-cows and giving ourselves some nice big expansions in the spine. And then we hollow and do our flexion, and we'll do one more, tailbone down, lower, middle, upper back, and then exhale, taking it all the way back down. Inhale, long spine, coming into neutral spine, plug the upper arm bones in and come to downward facing dog from here. And then we'll take our little walks again like we did onto our backs, getting maybe perhaps a little bit more pressure into those ankles and calves and Achilles, and maybe even all the way up to the hamstrings. Come up high onto your toes, bend your knees, Sink your heels to the right side and come into a crescent down dog into the whole left side of the body. Inhale and exhale right here. And then gently taking it up and over, second side. So we have the knees bent, the arms are straight. We're pushing the floor away, bend into the knees, coming into the right side of the waist, the entire side body on the right side. One more breath, and then gently coming back to the center and coming over to plank pose. Shoulders and wrists are stacked, holding the front side that we buffered into our abdominal work, and then we extend out from there, hugging everything in and then extending out. And then lower knees to the mat, come all the way down. Widen the hands, inhale to your cobra, inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Take the ears back, exhale, bring it all the way back down, push back, child's pose, big toes together, knees apart. Coming back to all fours and to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Coming back to stretching into the Achilles, to the calves. A few more breaths right here. And then up onto the toes and bend the knees. Come up high onto the ball of the foot and just kind of prepping our feet and our toes to be on those kind of raised footbed, so that we can come into our wild thing here midway or towards the end of our practice. These are the placements for the toes, for the feet, and then exhale, take it all the way back down to your downward facing dog. Come to plank pose, shoulders and wrists are stacked, knees to the mat, come all the way down, widen your hands, inhale to cobra, inner shoulder to outer shoulder, reach your legs back, melt into the heart, and then exhale, taking it back down, child's pose. From your belly button, push back to child's pose, and gently come all the way back up, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Anchoring into the heels. This time around, we'll see if we can get that nice extension into the whole back body by holding on to that front body with all of our powers, all the muscle energy, skin to muscle and muscle to bone, hugging all the way in. And then plank pose, our third round. Shoulders and wrists are stacked. There's a nice opening into the middle of the palm to come down onto the knees and come all the way down. Inhale, widen your hands and make your way into cobra, inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Exhale, release. Take it all the way back down and take your hands, interlace them behind your sacrum. Come into Shalambhasana with interlaced hands, tailbone down, stretch the legs forward, roll the shoulders up and back, and then we'll come up from there and extend the arms behind us. Finding that shoulder opener, finding the strength to the posterior body, lifting into the whole vertebrae column and all of its muscles around it. From the power of the front, we can lift into the back. And then exhale, bring it back down, hands to the shoulders, child's pose, big toes together, knees apart. Gently make your way back up into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale and exhale. Staying nice and low, step your right foot to between the hands, take your left foot flat, come to two hands, supported side angle, come up high onto the fingertips. Right seat comes towards the floor, so there certainly is an external rotation on that right leg, and then we'll see if we can bring it into our internal rotation by kind of squeezing the glutes and really setting the nice foundation for the seat on the right side and finding lots of space into the hips. One more breath, and then exhale, hands inside of your right foot, come up high onto your left toes, high crescent lunge, twist, right arm up to the sky, taking it all the way up. One breath here, and then exhale, take it all the way back down, palms on the mat, step it back, down dog. Come forward to your plank pose, Lower either with your knees or to your chaturanga, and then inhale, roll over the toes, upward facing dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Give yourself a few breaths in your down dog to reset everything, sinking into the heels from the core, inhaling and exhaling. Step your left foot between the hands, turn your right foot flat. Come with your hands out to diagonal, high up onto your fingertips. Wrap your left outer hip down. Find the four corners of the feet. Inhale and exhale. Give yourself a few breaths right here. Staying nice and low, opening up into the hips, hugging the muscles into the bones and extending organically away from there. And then gently take your hands inside of your left foot, come up high into your back toes, turn your hips forward. I like to come up on my right fingertips and then lifting the left arm up, high crescent twist. High crescent onto your right toes, sinking the left hip down, lifting the heart, the chest, and then exhale, bring it all the way back down, hands to the mat, down dog. Make your way over to plank. Hold the front side, lower chaturanga, or come all the way down to your knees. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And take it all the way back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Few more breaths right here. Step the right foot between the hands. Come nice and low. Lift it up and forward. And exhale to straight leg, Parsvottanasana. We go from low lunge to Parsvottanasana. So bending, flexing, and then extending and bending the front knee. Inhaling, drink it in through the heart space. Exhale, take it back down. We'll do two more to make it 5. Inhale and exhale and inhale. And then from here, roll over your left toes and almost come down with a knee on the mat, but we'll hold it over for a moment. The right knee is in front of the ankle and over towards the second and third toe. Inhale and exhale right here, and then put your left knee down. Take the left hand out onto the mat and bring your right arm up to the sky. Shoulder blades down on the mat. Right hand to the left foot. Thigh stretch. Inhale, lift the heart, the chest, the shoulders, and take that bend into the upper back. Exhale, release, arms back up, and then hand all the way to the mat, and maybe coming down on forearms or onto a block. Inhale and exhale right here. And gently hands to the mat. Step it back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Plank pose. Take your vinyasa, whether it is coming all the way down to the mat or taking your vinyasa chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, taking it into downward facing dog. Extending away from the midline, and at the same time we're holding the midline together. So holding on to ourselves and extending away. That is the whole yoga, binding our body parts together. Left foot between the hands. Sink it nice and low. Inhale through the heart center and exhale, extend, heel down, toes up, and inhale, long spine. And exhale, extend, heel down, toes up. Just keep it going for 2 more right here. Inhale, exhale. And we'll do 1 more. And then we'll stay all the way down and roll over the right toes and almost sink the right knee to the mat for a pretty intense quad stretch, hip flexor, maybe the whole leg. Keep it nice and organized, and then we'll put the knee down to the mat. Take your right arm out to the side, left arm up to the sky, low lunge crescent twist, and we'll take it into a different quad stretch. If you want to take your hand and your foot together and finding more awareness into that right quad. Shoulder blades down on the back. Inhale and exhale. And gently take it back down and bring yourself all the way to down dog. Tuck the back toes. Downward facing dog. Take your vinyasa. Plank pose. Chaturanga, or coming all the way down. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, bring it back. Downward facing dog. Lokah Samastah. Come up onto your toes. Bend your knees. Take a step or a hop over to the hands. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, fold. Hands to hips, elbows to sky. Come all the way up to standing and release the hands to the sides. Come into standing crescent. Take your arms up. Take your right arm over to the left side. Big wide crescent side stretch and lifting it up and over and up and over. And gently come back to center, hands behind. We'll do that shoulder opening. We did on the floor, belly down. Take the hands by the sacrum, roll the shoulders up and back, take the ears back and hinge and fold forward, top of the head towards the mat, and bringing the arms up and over or up, or keeping the hands onto the sacrum. Slightly bending into the knees so that we have this nice organic and grounding energy for the legs, through the feet to the heart of earth. And that way maybe finding a little more space into the shoulders. And exhale, release hands to the sacrum, hands to hips. Come back up to standing. And then from here, we'll take the feet wide to Prasarta Padottanasana and roll the shoulders up and back. And we'll do the same thing again, this time with the feet a little bit wider, rolling the shoulders, lifting the arms behind us or keeping them onto the sacrum, and then taking the top of the head towards the mat. It does not have to touch the mat. It might touch the mat. Tuck the toes slightly in, hug the inner edges of the feet towards the midline. Open up into the shoulders. Give ourselves a few breaths right here. And exhale, release hands to sacrum, and taking the hands all the way down. Extending, give ourselves a nice elongated spine. Take the peace fingers around the big toes and elbows out to the side and get a little bit of a different shoulder stretch. And definitely, hopefully, I'm hoping that you can feel this into the back of the legs. Press the mounds of the big toes down, top of the head towards the mat. Inhale and exhale. And gently extending it back up. Hands to hips, press the feet and come back up to standing, and then we'll step the feet all the way together, release the hands and come to the front of the mat, palms together, big toes can touch, there can be a slight opening for the heels, and then exhale, release the hands, inhale, arms to the sky, palms together, exhale, hinge and fold, Uttanasana, forward fold, top of the head towards the mat. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, step back, down dog. Plank pose. Take your vinyasa, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come up on your toes, bend your knees. Come to forearms, palms together, like prayer pose for palms. Knuckles are together and they're pressing strongly together, and it's like reminding us to hold on to the core. Tuck the toes, hollow the upper arm bones in, and at the same time pull the belly in and extend away from the arms
and walking in. Inhale and exhale. Give yourselves a few breaths right here. Bring the feet together, one leg up to the sky, hugging the adductors. And exhale, switching. Take the left leg up to the sky, holding on to the core. And then exhale, take it all the way back down. Take the knees down. Come and sit onto your toes and get that nice stretch into the plantar side of our foot, the bottom side of the foot. Let's take the right arm underneath the left and give ourselves a shoulder stretch and a brain stretch by twisting and wrapping the arms to Garndasana arms. Hands, thumbs can come to the third eye. And switching second side, take the left arm underneath the right. Inhaling and exhaling. And gently releasing the arms all the way out. And then we'll take them back down. Now we have forearm down dog again, which we just did, and we can do exactly that. Or you are welcome to, this could be a great opportunity to kick up into forearm balance. If you are practicing that, I am going to turn my way in towards the wall to have a little bit of support for security. So stay nice and safe, and maybe you will do the same. Maybe you have a wall close by, and we'll just take our forearms down and come into our forearm downward facing dog version, half down dog, forearms down, palms together, one leg up to the sky, the gaze is forward. We are opening up into our upper back, squeezing the feet together, lifting up, using that whole center of the body that we buffered in the beginning of the practice. Inhale and exhale, maybe giving ourselves a little smile, getting some nice heat going into the upper body. And then we'll come back down the same way we came up, with one leg and then the other. And then we'll take child's pose with our arms tucked into the feet, palms facing up. Inhale and exhale. And then gently come all the way back up, and we're going to sit onto the back and come to reverse tabletop, turning the palms, fingers the same direction as the toes, and even the fingers slightly turned out. So the second finger is straight down towards the big toe. And then we lift up into our tabletop, more shoulder opening, more shoulder stretching. Inhale and exhale. Lifting up and coming back down. Take a little seat, and maybe we'll sit right here. Maybe we lift it back up, and maybe we come back down to the seat, or maybe we lift through the seat and come into like a pike seat with the heels down and the buttocks lifted. And then we'll take it all the way back up and taking it back down, lifting, 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 and back up. And we'll do one more time for fun and for lifting all those locks, all the bandhas, the seat, the middle, and then keeping the breath going into that third lock, nice and strong. Come back down to your seat, find your block, or if you have a thick pillow, take your block, upper, middle, back, either the low or medium version, take what works. Take the heels down, and then we'll take that block below the shoulder blades, upper, middle, back. If you take my classes, you know that I like that block in the upper, middle, back, where it's a little bit stiffer, we'll just call it that. Take the hands behind the head, elbows up to the sky, and then we can lift up and over, and lifting up and over and up and over, and getting into that pinch of Mayurasana back we were just in. When we're getting into that, flipping the down dog back that we are working towards. Inhale and exhale. A few more breaths right here. And slowly taking it all the way back up, hands by the legs, and then we'll take it all the way up. Then we'll flip that block, and now we put it between the shoulder blades, so it's the longer or medium and longer way, and putting it right into that space at the bottom of the heart, below the shoulder blades, between the shoulder blades, and then arms out to the side, and the head can come down towards the floor. Arms can be out. Now you can stay here. This is a great shoulder opener, great heart opener. Or you can take your hands by the head and lift the head. Hands by the legs, come back up. And you can take it into maybe one more tier on the block level. Just making sure that we haven't missed any nook and crannies behind the heart. Elbows up to the sky, hands behind the head, and then we can lift up and over and up and over. Inhale and exhale, and gently take it all the way back. Hands by the legs, lifting it all the way back up, and coming to downward facing dog, and taking our tiger dog this time around, which is walking the feet on each side of the mat, and then we'll dig into that upper back space where we just were having a good time in there. And then we'll lift the sacrum and bend the knees and look between the hands, and then sink the heels down, look between the hands, and come to our normal downward facing dog. Plank pose, shoulders and wrists are stacked. Chaturanga, up dog, or cobra, inner shoulder, outer shoulder. Exhale, take it back to your downward facing dog. Take your right leg to the horizon, externally rotate, and then we'll take it into a one-legged dog with bent knees. Sink the left heel down, spread into your toes. Inhale and exhale. Switch sides. Take your left leg up, horizon, externally rotate. Bend your knees, sink your right heel down. Open up into that left quad, but holding on with the abdominals at the same time. And exhale, bringing it back down. This time we'll take it into pigeon pose. Lift your right leg up, externally rotate, bending the knee. Take your right leg underneath you for pigeon pose. And give ourselves a couple of Shakti waves here. Hands wide, sitting nice and tall, tucking those back toes under today, so that we will have a good memory of that as we flip our down dog. And then exhale, widen the hands, folding down. Inhale, raising back up, and exhale, folding down, and inhale, coming back up, and exhale, last one, and coming all the way back up. Hands on the mat, step back, down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can take a vinyasa with me if you'd like, or stay in down dog. Left leg up to the horizon, externally rotate, bend your knee, hold on to your abdominals like an abdominal curl. Sink your right heel down if it's available. Inhale and exhale, take your pigeon pose onto your left side, and we arrange so we feel comfortable, and we'll come into our Shakti waves here too, earth waves, or just waves through the spine. Tuck the back toes under, and then we'll exhale, folding forward, and inhale, coming back up, and exhale, folding forward, and inhale, coming back up, and we'll do it one more time. Exhale, and inhale, and hands to the mat, step back, down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Press the palms, lift the upper arm bones. Walk your feet to your hands, please. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Come for your seat. Roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. We'll do a little test drive for back bend and see how it feels, and then we flip our dog. Roll down vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way down. Hands by the mat. onto the mat next to the hips. Bring your feet in, press your head down, adjust your shoulder blades, lift your hips up, set your Bandha Saravanjasana, bridge pose, interlace your hands, roll your shoulders underneath you and lift your hips up. Now see if you can come up onto your toes and lift those hips up. Inhale and exhale, few breaths. Shoulder opener, hip opener, front and back. And exhale, release the hands, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Nice. And put the feet down. Now you can do that again, or we'll do a little test drive for Urdhva Dhanurasana. Take the palms by the shoulders, elbows to the sky, thumb in, pinky out, press your feet down, pull the abdominals in, awareness to that belly button, and then come to the top of the head. And then from there, walk your hands in and make your way up into your straight arm, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Maybe walking your feet in and just kind of turning yourself inside out, upside down, clearing the spine. Inhale and exhale, hanging out for a while, coming up onto those toes, or staying lower version, any version. And then exhale, walk your feet out and come back down, tuck your chin in, come all the way down. Take your feet flat, hands on the base of the quads, arms to the side, and a couple of windshield wipers, side to side to side. Inhale and exhale. And then take your hands underneath your knees, rolling it up, crossing at your ankles, and taking downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, savoring the energy for our dog flipping pose. So here we are in downward facing dog, and we'll stay right there. Maybe that feels good, maybe we'll stay there. Now take your right leg up to the horizon, externally rotate, bend your right knee. I like to come on to my left toes, and then for safety, I'm going to move my left hand over to the right side of the mat and flip my dog so I can have my right foot on my mat. Now the left foot comes straight, the right hand comes to the heart, and then that right foot is tucked under like we've been doing a few times. Right arm extends out and can come up and over and up and over and up and over. And we'll just stay right here for a while. And exhale, hand back to the heart, hand back down to the mat, step back, down dog, inhale, exhale. I hope that went really well. And we'll just buffer into our downward facing dog, finding the front and the back, inhale and exhale. And then taking our left leg up to the sky, and then bending your knee up here. I'm gonna move my right hand over and take my left toes onto the back of the mat, straighten my right leg, take my hand to the left hand to the heart, right arm is supporting and lifting the hips up, hand up to the sky, taking that left arm up and over and up and over and up and over, and coming into our dog flipping version. A few more breaths right here. And exhale, hand to heart, and bringing it back down. And that, my friends, was the wild thing that we were working on from the beginning of class to plop ourselves into. Inhale and exhale. A few more breaths right here. Now, just come to the knees and contemplate if we would like to maybe take that flipping down dog all the way to Urdhva Dhanurasana. We'll give it a try, see how it goes. Follow the instructions on the arms and the rotation of the shoulders. So tabletop, pull the upper arm bones in, downward facing dog. I'm going to come all the way over to the left side of my mat, and I'm going to come over to the right side of my mat, and then take the right leg up to the sky. So I have a pretty short down dog here with my arms, and bending your right knee up into the sky, pulling the belly button all the way in, and then flipping the dog, turning my right palm inward slightly, and then lifting the right arm up. Left arm is slightly turned out and in, so the fingers are straight to the back of the mat, and then maybe I'm lifting my right arm all the way up and over, and find my way to our wild thing into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Inhale and exhale, and then coming back onto that left arm and flipping myself back to down dog. I hope you're having fun. This is for fun. Inhale and exhale. Coming over to the left side of the mat. For me, I'm doing the moving on the mat because my mat is kind of narrow, and I just want to make sure that I land my hands and my feet on the mat because my floor is a little slippery. You might have sticky floors, then you can stay just right into the center of the mat. Left leg up into the sky, bend the knee up here, externally rotate your right arm slightly, and then come to your wild thing with your left hand onto the heart and your arm up to the sky. And then taking that left hand, slightly inward rotate, opening up into the shoulder, and maybe there is a finding to the floor and finding your way into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Checking the hands. A few more breaths right here, and then exhale, turning the palm, bringing it back, and coming back to your down dog. And from here, take your hands halfway in and your feet halfway in, and find dangling pose, hands on each elbow, forward fold, closing up that fun and wild thing practice with a forward fold. Inhale and exhale, releasing the head, releasing the neck. Inhale and exhale. Whatever came up, we'll just let it come up, and then we'll just saturate it into the layers of the body, whatever we need of that extra energy, and the other excess energy, we just send it out somewhere where it's needed in the world, to friends, family, or really anywhere. There's a couple of holes to put it into. Exhale, release, hands to the mat, and come all the way down to your seat, please. Straighten the legs out to the front, come to forward fold. Inhale, arms up, bicep to ears, heels down, sit bones down, and rib cage in. Exhale, hinge and fold forward, hands on each side, elbows out to the side, and we'll just close up our back bend practice, or shoulder or hip opening practice, top of the head towards the feet. Inhale and exhale. Stay one more breath right here. And then gently coming all the way back up and rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. And we'll come back to a little bit more core to just buffer everything into its right place after all those different turns and twists. So let's take the block with us, and arms forward, block or no block. Roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Vertebrae by vertebrae, nice and slow, finding the front side of the spine, taking it up and over, and bringing it all the way up to the sky, belly button in, and rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae, and extending the arms up, and arms to the front, rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale and exhale with a smile from side of the mouth to side of the mouth, and the body knows that everything's okay. Take the arms back up, and then we roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae, and bringing it all the way up. And then we'll come halfway down and do our pulses. So we'll come maybe a third down, and then we pulse right here, and pulse and pulse and pulse and pulse, sipping it from the pubic bone to the sternum. Exhale and inhale and pulse and pulse and pulse and pulse for 10 more, for 9, for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and then we'll take it all the way back down and taking the block to the side. Bring your knees in, upward facing cow pose, Gomukhasana. Give yourself a little stretch into the side of the body. There was a lot of external twisting and turning, so we'll just do a little buffer into the hips and reset into the iliac crest, into the lower back. One more breath here. And gently take your arms out, keep your legs the way they are, right over left, and then lift your hips, come over onto your left hip and come down and go into a supine twist. Relaxing, letting the twist take place all the way from the sacrum, all the way up through the vertebrae, up to the base of the neck. A few more breaths right here. And then take it all the way back up and switch to the second side. Bring your sacrum down, left leg high up onto the right. Take your arms around, hands around your ankles or somewhere below the shin. Inhale and exhale. A few breaths right here. Put a little extra pressure on that IT band from the iliac crest down below the knee to set the hips, the lower back in a nice, comfortable way. And release. Take your right foot down and press it down. Come over onto your right hip and supine twist, knee over knee. Letting that twist take place all the way from the sacrum up and around each and every vertebrae, side body. Inhale and exhale. And gently release the knees and bring it back to the center. Upward facing child's pose, knees to chest. We can stay here, or we can take the legs up to the sky. You can press your head, adjust shoulder blades underneath you. Take your arms up and take your legs up and over. We'll keep the arms where they are and come to an upward facing forward bend. Reaching through the spine, taking the feet with the hands if it's available, and getting that full back body stretch. And exhale, release. Vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Bending the knees in and coming to a Shavasana. Highly recommend to stay in Shavasana for 3 to 10 minutes, however long you like to lay in Shavasana. I'm going to come to my seat to close up the practice for us, but please do either stay supine or come to a comfortable seat. I'm going to sit in a block today to raise the seat a little bit. If you're laying down in Shavasana, make sure that your toes are relaxing, that your knees and hips are nice and heavy. Nothing has to hold the midline. We are just being held. That was a big practice, and we were really just supposed to flip the down dog, but then one thing led to another. I feel your energy
an anticipation, so we kept on going to taking it all the way to Urdhva Dhanurasana. And I hope you feel awesome in your spine. If you're laying down, you might feel each and every vertebrae, like a little different vibrancy. If you're sitting up, maybe you feel a different seat all the way up to the top of the head. You can take your hand on your heart and your belly if you're laying down, and if you're sitting up, the hands can come to the heart, and we'll close up with Lokah Samastah, Sukhino Bhavantu, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. One time if you'd like to join me. Thank you so much for joining the whole class. Take a comfortable inhale. The text should be coming underneath here somewhere, easy to follow along. Take a nice comfortable inhale. Lokah Samastah, Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace for all beings everywhere. Peace for our heart, peace for our mind, peace for our body, peace for everyone. Thanks again for joining me. Hit subscribe and get the notification for the next video. Share with your friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and namaste.